All right, friends, let's go ahead and get started with this race strategy. This race strategy question. Before we get started, make sure that you put your first name, your last name, and your number. So I'm doing it here. Okay, perfect. So the supplies you're going to need are going to be your pencil, your eraser, and your 3 colors. I'm going to go ahead and use markers. You can use crayons, colored pencils, whatever it is that you have, okay? All right, so what challenges did immigrants face when they arrived in America? So before I even answer that question, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I look at my little anchor chart here. And my first sentence are going to be these 2 greens put together. I need to first restate the question. So to do that, I need to cross out the question word. So that's like who, what, where, when, and why. And then I need to make sure I answer all the parts by finishing that sentence and adding punctuation. All right, so what challenges did immigrants face when they arrived in America? So if I'm looking at that, what is my question word that we see here? Well, I can already see that my question word is what. So I'm going to go ahead and cross that out. What? Now I have challenges did immigrants face when they arrived in America? That doesn't make sense, right? So I have to find my verb, and I know that my verb is here, so I'm going to put a little V and I'm going to circle it. Now I have challenges immigrants face when they arrived in America. Face, I'm going to make it into past because it's already in the past. So I'm going to put a D, faced. Okay. So could I say well, I guess my question is, are we going to say one or how many are we going to say? Right? For this particular question, you can just do one. You don't have to do multiples because we're just practicing this. But I could say, I could start my sentence with when, my 2 fingers for my indentation, right? When immigrants arrived in America, and I got to capitalize America because it's a proper noun, they faced challenges so what kind of challenges did they face? So there's a few in the text. You can do your own or you can follow along with me. I think I'm going to be talking about when immigrants arrived in America, they faced challenges like long inspections. I don't think I can fit it there, so inspections and tests. Okay, I need to make sure I finish with a period. I did start with a capital, so I have my topic sentence says, when immigrants arrived in America, they faced challenges like long inspections and tests. That's the challenge that I'm going to focus on, okay? So I'm going to underline it with my green since it is my topic sentence. All right, there we go. Now, I need to go on to my next section, and my next section is yellow. So this is where you're going to cite your evidence, where you're going to get a quote to prove your topic sentence. And I could say the author said, paragraph blank states, page blank states, and so forth, okay? For this one, I'm going to let you choose the best quote that you think is best, and I will set up this sentence for you. For example, I will say page blank. So you're going to tell me what page you find it. States. And then you're going to tell me the quote that shows that they had to go through inspections and tests. Okay? So you're just going to copy it straight from the text. You're going to start with a quote, end with a quote, and then your period. And that's going to be your evidence. So that's going to be your yellow sentence, your detail, right? So I'm going to underline it after I have that. And feel free to pause this video so you can catch up as you need. So when immigrants arrived in America, they faced challenges like long inspections and tests. Here, you're just going to give me a quote that proves that they had to go through long inspections and tests. And here, you're just going to put the page that you found it. Now, your next sentence is going to be where you explain this quote, right? So on my red here, this is my explain. This shows, this explains, this proves. You can use any of these that you want. I'm going to go ahead and use this shows, okay? So I'm going to say this shows that it was a challenge yeah, I wasn't sure if I could fit it there. A challenge to pass the health checks. Because now that I've read it, we know that if they did not pass it, they were not allowed into the United States and they had to be sent back. So it was a challenge to pass the health checks, right? And that's my red. So I'm going to go ahead and underline that with my red. Okay. And now your final sentence is your summary, right? This is where you're going to close it up. This is your conclusion sentence. So you could say, this is why, this is how, this is when. I think it would make most sense if we use this is why, right? So we can say, this is why. And you can do whatever you'd like, whatever makes most sense to you. But I might say something like, this is why oh, sorry, not why. I would probably say what. Okay, this is one challenge immigrants faced when they arrived in America. Right? There we go. And that's my conclusion sentence, so I'm going to underline that one in green. And again, you can make your own conclusion sentence, but if you're struggling with one or you're not sure, you could definitely use mine, okay? As we practice more and more of them, then I'm going to start having more blanks for you to fill in because you're going to get so good at them. All right, can't wait to see what you come up with.